Do you have an urge to design a CNC project from scratch on your own, but you don't know where to start? In this video we'll be going from the very first steps of getting started till having the project complete and ready for use. I will be sharing some tips to help you avoid the mistakes that most people make when first designing. So make sure you watch this video till the end and don't miss out on any of the tips. In this video we are going to learn 3 things. The first, what do you need to know before designing? How to keep your sketches simple and organized, and how to prepare your design for CNC cutting. Hello, I'm Davis from Aribabox, and if you've been watching my videos, you already know that I make a lot of woodworking projects. If you are interested on what can be made on your CNC router, make sure you click that subscribe button. There are plenty of ways to approach designing new items. However, there are principles that stay the same no matter what you are designing. In this case, I will show you how to make this simple toy car step by step. The first step usually is preparation, and the main goal is to understand what exactly you will be modeling and what guidelines you should stick to. Ask yourself, what are the limitations of the item I'm designing? In this case, the item will be obviously used by kids, so we should avoid sharp corners. The kids have small hands and it should be easy for them to grip the car. Also, it should be fun to play with. For all projects, it's important to do a little research to find out what's already been done, what mistakes other designers have made, and what are the things you could improve to make your design more interesting, more attractive, and functionally better. At this point, it's also important to understand the dimensions, how big the car model should be. It's important to get the size right, so the car isn't too big or too small. For some projects it's really easy to find standard sizes, but there are times when all you have is a picture of the item and you have to figure out the dimensions by yourself. In situations like that, often the best idea is to compare the size proportions to the item next to it. For example, if we had the image like this, we could calculate how big the truck is by counting how many billiard balls could fit side by side in the length of the car, and then multiplying it by the diameter of the ball. When you have the specifics down, it's essential that you know exactly what material you will be using for your project, so you can consider how it's going to be made and what tools you will need to finish the project. And it's something you have to keep in mind while modeling the components. For this toy car, we will be using 18mm plywood that can be easily cut with a 6mm router bit. Also, for the wheel axis, we could use 8mm dowels that are available in every wood shop. When you know exactly what you're gonna make and the materials and tools you will be using, it's time to start modeling. Personally, for most of my projects I'm using Fusion 360, but there are some ideas and principles that you can implement in different softwares as well. First of all, it's extremely important to keep everything organized. If you are using Fusion 360, keep every part as a separate component. It's easier to find it and edit them if you need to. If you are using different software, using layers is a great option. Also, I strongly recommend naming the components or layers correctly and not using random symbols. It may not matter for a small project like toy car, but it really does when modeling more complex items with more components. I will not talk much about the sketching itself in this video, but I will say learning and understanding the tools you have available in your software can make the work way faster and more enjoyable. Also, understanding the material is essential, so you know how detailed can you make the components and whether they will be durable in the long term. For example, this section would be fragile if made using an MDF board, but when using plywood it should last for years. If you would like to learn more about the sketching, leave a comment below and I might make a video about it in the future. Let's go to the part where we prepare the design for your CAM software. This is fairly simple to do, since we need only the outlines to make the toy car. However, there are some things to consider before exporting the DXF file. At this point we have to know how we are going to attach the material to your CNC table, so we can take in consideration, for example, the location of screws or vacuum cups, so we are sure we don't hit them while cutting. Also, the distance between components is very important. To ensure the best quality of cut, it's recommended to leave a little offcut between the components. The size of the offcut can vary based on the way you attach the material to your CNC table. In this case, we are going to use a 6mm router bit, so I think the minimal distance between the parts should be at least 15mm. After a quick checkup, the DXF file is ready for CAM software. Then it's only a matter of getting the G-code ready and cutting the components. After it's done, you can simply assemble the project and see whether everything works as planned. Congratulations, you have successfully made your design. By the way, if you would like to make this toy car, you don't have to sketch it from scratch. I will upload the DXF files for this and 2 more models on Aribabox.com. Before you go, please leave a like and subscribe so I can lose the starving artist image sometime soon. Also, if there is something you would like us to make a video about, feel free to leave a comment. Stay creative and I see you next time.